good thing to be back on your screens again. Thank you so much. Well, it's been a minute, but I'm back. Like the title suggests, today I want us to talk about education planning. Why you should plan for your kids' education plan. So this video is most definitely for the parents or the parents to be in the next few months or so, or if you intend to be a parent in future, a mom or a dad in future, then this is the video for you to watch. So I want us to talk about two things only: why and how. Okay, the why we should plan for education and how do we do that. Okay, number one reason I want to ask you: do you have an option when it comes to paying school fees for your child? Yes or no? Most definitely the answer is no. I'm a mom also, and most definitely I do not have a choice whether to plan for my kids' education or not. Okay, it is a must. When that time comes, I need to pay school fees, whether it's primary school, whether it's secondary school, whether it's university. It is my responsibility. It is not an option. It is my responsibility to take care of their school fees. Me and the dad, it is our responsibility. You as a dad, you as a mom, whether you're a single parent, it is your responsibility to take care of your kids' education. So the other reason why you need to take care of education plan right now, it is easier. It is easier for you to plan for. It is easier for you when you plan for education than wait for when your child is ready to join high school or when your child is ready to join university. It's when you're now struggling with school fees, when you also have other things to do. Maybe, let's say, if you're planning for university, your child is just 1 year old, so let's say 18 years from now. It is also the time you want to move out of rentals. It is also the time some people will be retiring when their kids are 20. Maybe they'll be 60 if you gave birth at 40. So you see, it's when you want to be retiring, this child is joining university, so you don't want to use your retirement money to pay school fees. So it is easier for you to start now than wait for that time. Okay, and when we talk about uh, education planning, another reason why you need to start now, it's because it gives you some sort of discipline in saving. When I talk about discipline in saving is when you use insurance policies, education policies, because this is, you can either have a monthly payment method or an annual payment method. Okay, so this plan really gives you discipline in saving because you cannot access the money, unlike maybe bank account. When you know, I have this account somewhere, it's not my salary account, it's another account in another bank where I set aside something for my child. However, Kikiumana, I can always run there. You see, it's a good thing that you have something to run to whenever you have maybe an emergency. But remember, this is not emergency money. This is money meant for your son or your daughter. Okay, and they're meant to use this money maybe at the age of 13 when they're joining high school, or 18 when they're joining university. So education policies gives you some sort of discipline that allows you to even save money. Of course, you also enjoy good bonus because having invested for a long period of time, if you're doing let's say a 13-year plan, as soon as your child is born, then it allows you to also earn bonus from the company because they're also using the money to reinvest. These policies helps your child to achieve their goals. I'll tell you how. And because when you're able to save money for your child's school fees, maybe let's talk about university, and they want to pursue, maybe when you're saving, you're looking at about 4 million for university. And then, you see, like my own is only 2 years. I cannot tell what she will become in future right now, but I'll not wait for her to be 12 years old when she's able to distinguish between what she would want for her future. I need to start now, because of course when you start early it becomes very cheap. So when I'm able to save for a long period of time, whatever she'll mention when that time comes, then I'll be ready for it. Okay? So it helps your child to achieve their goals. We have so many people outside here who would be great people in the society, in the country, in the world, but just because they were not able to do that course, do that maybe low cost, maybe they were supposed to become very great surgeons, because they did not go to school to pursue that course, they cannot become. It remains to be a passion, but maybe in future they will. But if you're able to save right now for your child, whatever they'll mention, you're able to take care of them. Okay? I'll tell you another reason why you need to start saving on your child's education as early as now. When they retire, they'll not make their children become their retirement plan. Okay? So that will help a lot of when it comes to breaking those generational hiyo mambo ya poverty generation after generation. You feel me, if you know an example, or if your family is one of what I am talking about. So that's it. When we talk about the why you should save for it, now let's talk about the how. The how is very simple. I mean, there are two options, only two options when it comes to how do I save for my child's education. Let's have a line of your child's age 0 to 18. So you have an option of save the money and earn interest, or wait for the child to get to 18 or to 13 when they're joining high school, or 18 when they're joining university, borrow the money, pay the money, and pay interest. Which one would you go for? Save money and interest. Borrow money, pay interest. Of course, I assume all of us would go for save money and and earn interest. Then what are you waiting for? I mean, we've already talked about why. We've already talked about why you need to save the money. Now I've told you there are two options: save and earn interest, borrow and pay interest. Then what are you waiting for? Then just sign up for these education policies and kick off. Now, I have had people tell me, I want to go to save using the circle, I want to use the bank, and I'm talking about insurance companies. There are many companies outside here. I am not against circle. In fact, if you ask any of my clients, they need to join the circle for, if I am your financial advisor, then circle is mandatory. But even having a bank account is very important, because there are different kind of platforms where you need to save your money. They are short term, like the bank; middle term for this for 2 to 5 years for your goals that fall between 2 to 5 years category. Then there's long term, where we now have these policies. Why not the circle or the bank? Number one, circle needs a loan. Circle is a loan, lakini si tumesema hatutaki kuchukua loan alafu tulipe na interest for education. Yes, loans are good when we talk about development things. Maybe you want to move out of rentals, you don't have a plot of land yet. As you're saving for your long-term plan to build your house, you can take a loan, buy a piece of land, maybe in 5 years time, pay it in loan in 5 years time or less. That time your policy will have matured, and now you can build your own house. That's a good loan. Taking a loan to pay school fees is a bad loan, because tumesema we've said we don't want to borrow money and pay on interest. Why not the bank? Bank might give you interest, which is minimal, but in case of death, the family is only, I'm talking about the fixed account, because I know people who have opened fixed account for their children. Money they don't touch, have discipline, but it's okay. But what if something would happen to you? They can only access the money that is there. Okay. Why now the insurance policies? These policies, let's talk about a 13-year plan or a 12-year plan. I'll talk about my own. I have a 12-year plan for my daughter, to take care of her high school. So, God forbid, just God forbid, if anything would happen to our client and we lose them, let's say they have a 12-year plan. We lose the client on the 6th-year plan. Let's say it's man X. If we lose man X on death on the 6th year, we are not going to ask if they have a wife. We're not going to ask their wife to continue contributing this plan. No. The company will continue paying for that policy, and upon maturity, if we had promised to pay 4 million, it is exactly how much we are going to pay. Whether you had done 10 years or whether you had done 1 year, anytime from the 7th month. Okay. If you are a single parent, this child is looking up to you, nobody else. So if anything would happen to you and you had an education plan, when they're grieving or they're grieving the loss of their loved one, at least they are sure that education is well taken care of. Whether I am here or not, when I know my daughter's education is well taken care of, I am at peace. God forbid, nothing will happen to me. Nothing will happen to you too. We are going to raise our children and see even their children. But now this is what we call waiver of premium. We continue contributing on your behalf. So there is that aspect of education security or education cover. And this one now brings you peace of mind that my bundle of joy will go to school whether I am there or not. So that's pretty much it on education. I think I've exhausted everything I needed to say on education. I'm ready to take in questions. Please write down on the comment section what question you have on education planning and all of that. If anything happens before the end of that period, not anything like death, but anything like you losing your source of income, most insurance companies are very flexible to work with the client, case to case basis. It's good to get these things very clear at the beginning. I'm not talking about a particular company. That is why maybe I may not give that solution here. But when we are now talking one-on-one, I can tell you this is what happens. But very, very flexible, very customer friendly, because we know these things happen. So any question, I'm ready to take on the comment section. My number is running on the screen. In case you have a child and you've not taken care of their education, then this is the time. The right time, the best time to take that education was yesterday, but because you did not take a plan, then the next best time is now. Let's talk about that plan. Let's plan on our children. We want to see them flourish. We want to see them become big people in the society, but they are not going to become big people in the society or the world without education. Okay, hata wewe you are where you are because of the level of education ama the place that your parents were able to reach in terms of getting you to that high school, that university, that master's, that PhD, that degree or that degree or diploma, that certificate. That one dictates the kind of life that you live or has something to do with it, 50 or 90%. That has been it. Thank you so much for listening to this point. Apologies if I may have said anything that did not make you happy. Thank you for listening, and it's always a pleasure to be on your screens and to also impact your life and your children's life. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.